Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the Vox Media company. Chances are you know of them through many of their web properties. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Fact 1. The Verge. Vox Media company holds many web properties that you are probably aware of, but do not know that they belong to the Vox Media company. For example, The Verge. It is the website that the Vox Media company was founded upon. It is one of the first websites of this company, along with SB Nation, a sports blog, that was able to create the Vox Media company. The Verge is an online technology website focusing on the news and developments in the technology space. The popularity of The Verge is what allowed the owners to continue exploring and acquiring new website properties such as Curbed or Pop Sugar. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. 18 different brands. As I mentioned in the previous section, the Vox Media company is not one single media website or destination. For example, you might be aware of Vox, the TV channel, or Vox, the YouTube channel. But did you know that, for example, Eater, New York, Now This, Pop Sugar, Seeker, The Strategist, The Cut, Grub Street, all these are Vox Media's web properties or online channel or TV channel. They all belong to the same media company, that is Vox Media. It's very obvious that they have really diversified themselves from the initial The Verge technology news into all sorts of news, such as travel, restaurants, and many other things. It is a good idea to always do this for a media company because you want to capture as much audience as possible. And if you stick just to one niche, your earnings will be limited by that field. However, if you start to cover more and more segments or more and more niches, that's when you can really scale up your business and bring in millions and millions of dollars. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Private invested. When I say private invested, I mean that the Vox Media is still a private company held by investors. These investors are what you see in technology companies, as what we call venture capitalists. There are many VC funds that hold interest in the Vox Media. There's also a bunch of angel investors, which are high net worth individuals that invest their own money for a share of the company. Because of the growth of the company from 2011, an investment into Vox Media has been proven to be very lucrative. In fact, every fundraising round that Vox Media had were trending in the up direction, raising more and more at a higher evaluation. It is also difficult though for those investors to cash out their holdings because Vox Media is still a privately held company. However, when it IPOs, that's when all these investors can realize their investment earnings and really cash out at billions of evaluation. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Part Comcast owned. As we mentioned, Vox Media is a privately held invested company, and Comcast actually invested into the company as well. Comcast, through its subsidiary, the NBC network, owns about 34% of Vox Media. It is very interesting that this is a partnership that they have because they are actually competitors. Comcast and NBC is a media conglomerate, and Vox Media is also a media company. It is likely that Comcast wants to invest into Vox Media so that it could reach audiences that it may not be able to through really large networks that it owns. NBC and Comcast are so gigantic that they probably cannot go into every niche out there. And so they have to rely on smaller operators, such as Vox Media, to target those niches and really capture those audiences. And when you think about it, when all the money is flowing, it really doesn't matter who actually owns the company. Now let's get into the next and final fact. Fact 5. Started remote. This is a super interesting fact that I'm assuming actually, because I'm not able to find any sources of information. When the founders of Vox Media started the SB Nation sports blog and the Verge Technology News website, they never listed where they started. And I suspect this is because these kind of businesses could be started at home on an apartment living room. And I suspect that is what happened. The founders probably just started writing and started hosting websites from their living room and began writing great content that eventually gained more and more followers and morphed into what it is today. And so I think this is a great lesson for everybody that you don't necessarily need a huge office or huge injection of funding to start a business. You could start writing your own home, in your kitchen, in your living room, and just start writing, in this example, for a media company. And eventually, if you do produce good content that's valuable to the people, they will subscribe, they will read it, and you will gain an audience for your particular topic or niche. And once you have a large enough audience, the money always comes through. Obviously, Vox Media is no longer a small, remote company, but a large media corporation with offices in New York City and Washington, D.C. Not to mention, they fly all around the world to report on news and events that cater to those specific niches to capture more and more audience. Well, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.